I've said this before, the WNBA has an A'ja Wilson problem, and I believe that. I think the fact that A'ja Wilson is the best player in the world, and the fact that she is actively trying to, ruin Caitlin Clark.
Picture this. You're the star of the WNBA. You got the trophies, the big shoe deal, loyal fans, and all the recognition. Then a rookie comes into the picture, and next thing you know, you're posting online about not getting the respect you deserve. You're calling out podcasters for making fun of your logo. A'ja Wilson has already achieved so much, multiple MVP awards, back-to-back championships, and a spot as one of the league's top players. But her recent comments about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever fans have stirred up some controversy, leaving people wondering how this might affect her career in the future.
A'ja Wilson, I'm telling you this right now, if A'ja Wilson did not say a word during the season, A'ja Wilson would be one of the most popular basketball players because she's a hell of a player.
She even suggested it's because of her race. And if you think that was the end of it, think again. Wilson also claimed there's nothing she can do to become the most popular player in the WNBA.
A two-time league champion and now three-time WNBA MVP told the Associated Press she thought Clark's race was a huge contributor to her popularity. It doesn't matter what we all do as Black women, we're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is.
You might be thinking this is just typical rivalry talk, but now fans and the media are starting to wonder if there's more behind Wilson's words. Is this really about competition, or is something else influencing her comments? Here's where it gets interesting. While Wilson says it's all about race, other WNBA players are gaining popularity too. Take Nafisa Collier and Azura Stevens for example. They're quickly becoming fan favorites, and last time I checked, they're not white. So what's really going on here?
Explain to me why this season, I'm not gonna lie, from start to finish of the season, the people that grew the most in popularity were Nafisa Collier and Arike Agambowale. Explain to me that. Maybe it's because they're just hoopers and people don't hate them.
You might be thinking, maybe Wilson's just frustrated about something specific. That's exactly what everyone is trying to figure out. What's behind her comments? Is it jealousy, fear of losing her top spot, or is there something deeper going on? Think back to the 2023 MVP race when Breanna Stewart won instead of Wilson. Chaos erupted. You'd think Wilson would be at the center of it all. But here's the twist. It wasn't just her. Her supporters went all in. Believe it or not, even Cheryl Swoops, a WNBA legend, was caught liking tweets that were anti-Stewart. This drama goes way beyond just one player.
Even almost in a Skip Bayless way. And Cheryl Swoops, the reality of the situation is people are like, oh, she dislikes Caitlin Clark, she's turned on Caitlin Clark. I stand by the fact that I think that this is almost if someone's a threat to A'ja Wilson, they're a problem.
But wait, there's more. It's not just about MVP awards.
So Sabrina Ionescu got on, it's zoomed a bit too much, she got on the NBA 2K24 cover before A'ja Wilson got on the 2K cover. And there was uproar. There was absolute...
Then there's Sabrina Ionescu. She made it onto the NBA 2K24 cover before A'ja Wilson did, and it caused a huge uproar. Fans went wild, and the drama was intense.
Every single award A'ja Wilson has not won, people complain about.
Did you catch that? A'ja Wilson didn't skip a beat when Sabrina Ionescu landed the NBA 2K cover. What should have been a win for the WNBA turned into a Wilson-fueled debate. Fans quickly argued that Wilson deserved the spotlight, and when Ionescu launched her own signature shoe, the backlash was so fierce, you'd think she committed a crime for hitting such a milestone.
Even if it wasn't Caitlin Clark, I think you could make an argument Caitlin Clark did not deserve to win Time Athlete of the Year. But you better believe A'ja Wilson wasn't in the top 50. She was not in the top 50 athletes of the year. I'm sorry. There's no question about that. She was not in the top 50 athletes this year. So I'm just saying it it's crazy.
You might be thinking, surely this won't affect how the media covers her, right? Well, think again. It's like Wilson has the media wrapped around her finger. When Time magazine didn't include her in their conversation about top athletes, her fans went wild. They claimed Time completely ignored Wilson's talent. But here's the thing. Time's Athlete of the Year isn't just about skills. There are many factors that come into play.
Bullying is allowed if it's on behalf of A'ja Wilson. The amount of stuff, Becky Hammond's even there, joking about how bad Stewie is if it's on behalf of A'ja for winning MVP when they won the title. The amount of time Sabrina Ionescu got attacked by fans, and it was fine when it's on behalf of A'ja.
Even if it wasn't Caitlin Clark, you could argue she didn't deserve to win Time's Athlete of the Year. But here's the thing. A'ja Wilson wasn't even in the top 50 athletes of the year. I'm sorry, but there's no denying that. She didn't make the cut, and that's just the reality of it. It's wild.
A'ja Wilson, I'm telling you this right now. If A'ja Wilson did not say a word during the season, A'ja Wilson would be one of the most popular basketball players because she's a hell of a player. She is a hell of a player, and I mean that.
Let's talk Olympics for a minute. During the games, when Wilson wasn't exactly dominating the court, someone had the nerve to suggest that Stewart was the MVP, and, as expected, Wilson's fans came at it full force, almost like it was their job. It's gotten to the point where it feels less like fan support and more like a cult following.
Next thing, as soon as Caitlin Clark's Nike deal gets announced, and that she's getting a signature shoe, A'ja Wilson goes on Twitter and goes on an entire 4 or 5 tweet rant about how she'll never get the recognition that she deserves, and basically that Caitlin Clark is only getting this because of her race again.
This whole situation is causing a big issue for the WNBA. When one player has this much influence over the media, it throws everything out of balance. But wait, there's more. Wilson isn't done speaking out. In fact, it seems like every time Caitlin Clark hits a new milestone, Wilson has something to say about it. And trust me, you won't believe what happens next in this ongoing WNBA drama.
Well, in the background, A'ja Wilson knows she has a shoe. She already knows, I've got my signature shoe coming, but I'm gonna go and enter the Victim Olympics right here and make people hate Caitlin Clark even more.
Let's talk about why Clark's Nike deal is such a big deal for the WNBA. It's not just about one player landing a big sponsorship, it's Nike sending a clear message that women's basketball is worth investing in. This kind of recognition can help the entire league grow. You'd think every WNBA player would be celebrating this, right? Well, A'ja Wilson had a different take.
A logo I'm a Miami Heat fan, I can laugh at the dumb Heat culture kid. You've got to be able to just laugh at bullshit. You've got to be. Because if you're not, then there's issues with that. You've got to be able to.
That's how much of a stir A'ja Wilson caused. She jumped on Twitter, and things quickly got messy. Wilson suggested that Clark only landed the Nike deal because she's white. Can you believe that a star player implied a rookie got special treatment based solely on race? Wilson didn't say it outright, but her tweets made it clear she was frustrated with Clark's popularity and seemed to link it to race, claiming Clark's deal was a result of her skin color and how it grabbed the attention of fans and sponsors. But here's the part that's got everyone scratching their heads.
I'm sorry, this is a bottle opener. It is a bottle opener. I might mean something, but this is a bottle opener.
Here's the kicker. Wilson already has her own signature shoe. That's right, the player complaining about not getting enough recognition is one of the few WNBA stars with her own personalized sneaker line. So why is she so upset about Clark's deal? Fan reactions are all over the place. Some are backing Wilson, praising her for speaking her truth, while others accuse her of bringing down a rising star instead of lifting up the league. Sponsors are staying quiet for now, but you can bet they're paying close attention to this drama. The biggest shock? Nike made a bold move to avoid controversy. They pulled the plug on Caitlin Clark's signature shoe line entirely, probably to sidestep offending Wilson or other top black players.
When Twitter trolls attack other people, according to her, it's Caitlin Clark's fault.
So why did Wilson react this way? Is it just jealousy or is there something deeper going on? Some people think she's worried about losing her spotlight, while others wonder if she's stirring up controversy to stay relevant. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure, this Twitter rant isn't doing her any favors. If you thought the Nike deal drama was wild, just wait until you hear about the logo that sparked 1,000 tweets. A'ja Wilson is about to show us all how not to handle criticism. But here's the real shocker. It's not just about a logo. This is the moment Wilson's image started to crack, and you won't believe where it leads her next.
Comes out in an interview and talks about how scared she felt playing in Indiana.
So what happened? A podcast decided to take a jab at Wilson's logo. They didn't hold back, calling it the dumbest logo ever, and saying it looked like a bottle opener. Now, we've all seen some questionable sports logos before, but this critique really struck a nerve with Wilson. It hit her hard, really hard.
And by the way, I think all this "we're scared to play in Indiana" was an attempt to get the All-Star game moved from Indiana, which was never going to happen. Because as soon as that conspiracy theory started coming, she shut up quick.
You'd think a superstar like Wilson would just brush it off, right? Nope. Instead, she went on a full-blown Twitter rampage. She didn't just respond. She tagged the podcasters and unleashed her army of followers on them. It was like watching a meltdown unfold in real time. Wilson took that logo critique as a personal
every single person in WNBA media, a lot of people aren't even congratulating Caitlin Clark. You're seeing why is it not A'ja Wilson? Why is it not?
So what's next for A'ja Wilson? Can she turn things around? It won't be easy. The damage to her reputation is significant. Fans are disappointed, sponsors are concerned, and the league is probably not happy either. Wilson now has to take a hard look at her actions and decide what kind of legacy she wants to leave. Will she be remembered as a fantastic player who lost her way on social media, or can she recover and become the positive force the WNBA desperately needs?
Why is it not A'ja Wilson? That is a bad narrative to have in the media. But she has the media wrapped around her finger because she was Queen Bee for so long. She was at the top of the